Big welcome everybody and welcome to Pink October. So we're all in the pink here at Case Flower School today. So as you know, the month of October is Cancer Awareness Month. And every year, again, if you're a follower of Case Flower School, you will know that for the month of October, we always raise funds for one of our favourite charities called Look Good, Feel Better Ireland. Now this is a charity that's all over the world and offer amazing services for free for people that are going through cancer. So maybe somebody that's watching there might actually tag them in the comments, put the @ Look Good Feel Better, and if you're on Instagram, Ireland, IRL at the end, you'll see their logo coming up. And if you get a chance later on, don't go now, stay here and watch the demonstration class, but later on pop over to their page and say hello and give them a little bit of support. And if you know anybody going through cancer, make them aware of this charity, you know what I mean? Because it's absolutely brilliant, especially for women. They give them like free makeup classes and skincare classes, lots of free products, you know, that way, lots of advice from some of the most amazing makeup artists and skincare specialists here in Ireland. So for the month of October, we always fundraise for them. And last year we raised over €7,000. Now, whether we'll break that or match that this year, listen, nobody knows. But what we're going to do, because anytime we run a fundraiser, we always give you something for nothing. Everybody is a winner. So this is not a raffle and it's not a competition. Everybody who makes a donation to Look Good Feel Better using the link that's above, or I'm going to put it in the comments below as well. Now make sure it's our link, okay? Because when you make a donation to that link, you will get a reply back, a confirmation thanking you for your donation with a link to a free course. So what we're after doing is we have created an autumnal course. There's 5 different designs. There's some dried, some fresh, some pumpkin, but none of the arrangements that I've done here on the live classes. They're all completely different. And you will get that completely free when you make a donation. And you can donate any amount, but as I'm kind of saying to people, play a little bit fair. You are getting a course worth €300. So maybe keep your donation at least €20 upwards, you know, that way. Now, obviously, if €5, €10 is all your budget, that's absolutely fine as well. But we do want to be fair and we do want to raise as much money for the charity as possible. And as Gay Bourne used to say, there is one for everyone in the audience. So everybody that's watching here today, if they click on the link, make a donation, every one of you will get a free course and you have access to it for 60 days. And if you know anybody who's interested in flowers, tag them in the comments there, let them know about it, you know, that way. Or again, we'd really appreciate if you share this video and share it into your groups, or, you know, like any of your friends, like share it out there. Because again, anybody that's watching this video, once they click on the link above, the link below, make a donation, they will also get the free course. So again, have we many people watching there, Deirdre?
Yeah, there's a good few watching in there. Yeah.
Where are they watching in from? So make sure that you post where you're watching in from. And sure, listen, we might as well find out what's the weather like, even though we won't have much time today to talk about the weather. So it's pumpkin season. We're getting ready for Halloween. So what we've done to this pumpkin is we've sprayed it with aerosol spray. So this is a violet spray, but again, you'll see different days I'm using different coloured sprays. We have the inside of the pumpkin scooped out. Not the whole pumpkin, just scooped out a bit of it, okay? And then I've dabbed it all with bleach and water, and I find that that's what helps to preserve them and it stops it going off. But at the end of the day, the pumpkin is only going to last as long as the fresh flowers. It'll probably last a bit longer than the fresh flowers, you know, that way. So again, you're talking 12 days thereabout. You probably will get about 15, 18 days out of the pumpkin, do you know, that way? But it'll last as long as the flowers. Now, what do you need? You need a posy dish. These are called square end posy dishes. You'll get them in your local flower shop, garden centre, or again, some of the home-based, you know, shops, they sell them as well. I'm using a half a block of floral foam and I'm going to push that down into it. And you might say to yourself, God, that's a big chunk of floral foam, Jeanette. It is. But you'll see afterwards why I need it so big. So I'm cutting off the corners, and you know yourself, if you've been watching me for a while, I always trim around the floral foam as well. So just trimming the corners off, I just find it easier to camouflage and hide the floral foam afterwards if I do that. I have a bit of kitchen towel here to dry off a little bit. Now throughout this demonstration, if anybody has any questions at all, post all your questions in the comments. Deirdre will call them out to me. I'll answer them if I can. Obviously we may not get to all the questions, but I'll come back on later on this evening and I'll absolutely respond to everyone. Now again, just a quick reminder, because that's the whole idea of today's class, is we are doing a fundraiser for Look Good Feel Better. Everybody who donates will get a link to a free autumnal course. Not this one, you're getting this one for free anyway. What do you want? So this is a completely different autumnal course, and there's 5 different designs, and you'll have access to it for 60 days. Everybody's a winner. There's one for everybody in the audience. You can donate as much or as little as you want, you know that way. I would love if you kept it €20 upwards, but again, if it's within your budget to go a little bit less, there'll be no argument from my side. It's all about raising funds for Look Good Feel Better. So back to the pumpkin. So scooped out, bleach and water on the inside, and the great thing about these posy dishes, you see the way it can just wedge down into the hole. So what I find then is that it nearly seals the top of the pumpkin, and not completely, but it's nearly back to what it was like when the lid was on it, you know the way. So you do find if you don't open your pumpkin, it's going to last an awful lot longer. So what I'm now going to do is I'm going to add in the lid at this stage. So to use the lid, I'm going to use our waxing sticks. You've seen me using these for loads of different jobs here at Case Flower School. So waxing sticks are for waxing your legs. So the next time you're at the beautician's, ask her for a couple of these waxing sticks. They'll give them to you no problem, and you'll have them because there's loads of little jobs for them. Now again, if there's anybody watching that hasn't or doesn't get their legs waxed, okay, put it in the comments there below that you don't wax your legs, and we'll call out a few names afterwards and we'll send you out a couple of waxing sticks. Lollipop sticks will do exactly the same job. So what I'm doing now with the point, you see, I'm able to force that up into the pumpkin lid, and then I can force that down into the floral foam, you see, to hold it in place. So there's our little arrangement ready to start. Next, what you need is a couple of bits of greenery. Now greenery wise, you can use absolutely anything. I'm going to use a bit of silver Sussex, a bit of eucalyptus and a bit of hemlock. Now again, we got amazing support from our suppliers when we said to them that we were going to do these live classes and the free autumnal course for Look Good Feel Better. So Wicklow Foliage Farm, somebody tagged them in the comments below there, Wicklow Foliage Farm. Irish Green Guys in Kerry, somebody tagged them there, Irish Green Guys. And Ashemi 2020, ASHEMI 2020. The 3 companies sent us out foliage for free, so foliage wise it didn't cost me anything. Also, our amazing fresh flower supplier, Hook Flowers in Holland, our beautiful handsome rep Frank, I was going to call him, Frank, he charged us a €0 for our flower bill. So we did put our flower order in, all the flowers that we wanted for this, for these courses, and he charged us absolutely zilch because he knew it was for the charity. So again, let's get behind all our supporters. Pop over, follow their pages. Somebody tag Hook Flowers in the comments below there, HOEK Flowers. A blue symbol or a blue logo will come up, and at some stage pop over and tell Frank thanks, you know that way, because again we really appreciate it. So for saving time, I have a lot of the greenery cut up here fairly short. So what I'm going to do there with the silver Sussex is I'm just going to go around the bottom of the posy dish and just insert a little bit of foliage. Can you see the way? Just upwards into the floral foam there, just kind of creating a little bit of a frill, you know that way, or a hanging down effect. Now again, you may not have silver Sussex in your own garden. Let me know in the comments what you have got and I'll be able to tell you if that will work. But ivy is fine. Like anybody that has clumpy ivy in the garden, that will be fine. Eucalyptus will be fine. Pittosporum will be fine. To be honest, viburnum, that will be fine. What else? What else has everybody got? Let me know in the comments, and again I can give you a little bit of feedback. I also have a little bit of hemlock foliage. Again, probably a more unusual one. Some of you may not know it. We got this in from Irish Green Guys in Kerry. It's great lasting foliage. I'm not too sure about growing it, so again, if anybody out there is a horticulturist and has a bit of information about it, please put it in the comments. All help much appreciated here at Case Flower School. So I'm just adding in a little bit of that here and there. Do you see, just kind of like trailing down? I'll spin that around just to kind of give you an idea, and that's all we're doing. We're keeping this simple because when it comes to Halloween, people have kids. Not everybody here has kids. I've no small kids. But you know, my big kids love Halloween anyway. And they love scooping out the pumpkins. Deirdre's husband did all the work here, didn't you, Deirdre, with scooping out these pumpkins. He's a dab hand. He's a great little scooper. We always get my dad to do it every year. But this year Dad is over sunning himself in Spain. So we were down a man, so we had to get Deirdre's husband to do them for us this year. But most men, it's like the barbecues, you know, that way. They think they're absolutely brilliant, they do. They are brilliant. But they love scooping out the pumpkins, but the kids love to get involved as well. So if your kids are getting involved in scooping out the pumpkins, why don't you get them involved in making these arrangements? And again, it's something that you could make and bring into the teachers in school, do you know, that way, as a present. Or again, you're probably saying, feck the teachers in school, I'll keep it for myself. So you can see the way I'm just kind of like adding in foliage on a slant now. A little bit of filling in. Hold on, just get a few more pieces. Just going to get a bit more of that hemlock. I actually find this is brilliant. It's a really fast little filler. And it's an easy foliage to kind of work with, you know, that way. So just basically adding in the foliage kind of on a slant, on an angle, you know, the way, up around the top, in around the lid there, a little bit of camouflaging. Now the thing is, I am going to add some orchids into this arrangement. And I have them in water vials, which means it's going to take up a little bit of space, you know, that way. So don't go too heavy with the coverage of the foliage. I can always stick another little bit in afterwards. And anyway, I'm always saying to the students, less is best. You can stick more in afterwards. Where if you put too much in, you're going to create a problem. When you go to try and put the flowers in, you'll have too much foliage in, and you know what I mean, your oasis is clogged. And then you're making big holes and all the rest, you know what I mean? So less is best, you can stick more in afterwards. Probably just do one more little bit here over this side. Again, anybody has any questions at all, put them in the comments and we'll try and respond back to you. How are we going?
Julie wants to know about the Christmas course, the Christmas wreath course.
Okay.
Do you bring home your own wreath?
Of course you do. Do you think I want 10 Christmas door wreaths when you're all gone home and having to clean up after you? Everybody brings home their own Christmas door wreath, and I guarantee it's going to be magnificent. It'll be absolutely the bee's knees. It'll be fabulous.
And Angie wants to know, does everybody make the same wreath? Or
No. We offer a huge selection of choice because I love lots of bling in my door wreaths. So you mightn't like my ones, you know, that way. Where you could be one of these that likes all the naturals, you know, the fruit. I like them as well. So no, there'll be a choice to win. You can choose whatever materials you want, and there'll always be the one that'll put the kitchen sink into it, and that's allowed as well.
And Angie wants to know, is the 3rd of December the only date?
That's the only date that we have, at the moment, and I don't think we'll get another one in. So it's a bit like Harvey Norman. When it's gone, it's gone. There still is places left on at the moment, and you'll get all the details on the website. So anyway, there's our pumpkin all greened up. We have to get back to Halloween, we do. But we do have places on the Christmas live workshop. And when we say live, it's actually a real live, what would you call it, classroom based, you know the way, real life experience. Like you can touch us and we can touch you. It's probably like we will have one in autumn, but it'll be the first Christmas one that we've had in I think 3 Christmases. So we're all excited for that. Now the Vanda orchids come on stems. Can you see like so there? And you can see the way they come in a tube. So what we normally do then is we cut off the individual heads and place each individual head into its own tube. You go into your local florist, they'll give you the tubes, they get them for nothing, they do, or water vials as they call them. These are filled with water, little rubber lid on the top, little hole in the lid, they come with the hole in them, and you just insert the Vanda orchid or the Cymbidium orchid down into the water vial. Now you're probably saying, well, how are you going to get that into the floral foam? That was why I needed a big piece of floral foam. So now I'm actually sticking this tube into the floral foam, not the stem of the flower. So the flower is drinking the water out of the tube. Now Vanda orchids, they last for about between 10 and 21 days. I swear to God, they're the best lasting flower out there. So when everything else is dead, pumpkin and all, the Vanda orchid will still be alive, okay? So I'll take them out, recut the ends of them, change the water in the tube, and I'll get another go with another arrangement. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep this facing to me for just a second. I'll spin it back around to you in a second, okay? Because I just want to insert a couple of Vanda orchids kind of random. So some of them are kind of high and some of them are going to be just that little bit lower. Sorry, struggling getting that one in there, right? Just turn that around to you there for a second. Can you see the way I kind of went up and down? And then I'm going to do something similar on the opposite side. So I always find with the Vanda Orchid, they're nearly, or they look like butterflies, you know that way. They're absolutely stunning flower they are, and beautiful in bridal bouquets. Because I know recently there we had a module 3 with our students, you know that way. And again, we would have done a lot of bridal bouquets. So that just shows you like a couple of little Vanda Orchids. I think we've 6 of them there, and less than a stem. Do you know that way? You get about 9 or 10 heads on a stem. They are expensive. Now, if anybody is watching and you're saying, what could I use instead? You could use your Germany instead. You could use large-headed roses. I'm going to use a couple of small-headed roses, but you could use a couple of large-headed roses instead of them. You could use a large carnation, do you know that way? That would kind of make it less inexpensive. You could use lily heads. That would be gorgeous. Like lily heads would be fabulous in that. Dahlias. Has anybody got any dahlias grown in the garden? The dahlias will be fabulous. So again, if you have something growing or something that you're thinking, would that work? Put it in the comments and I will get back to you. Now, rose-wise, these are just short stem little roses. Just blowing the inside of them and just removing the guard petal on the outside. They're an aqua pink rose, so they're a darker pink rose. And again, beautiful. And I just kind of think with the purple, this is going to look really nice. So in between our Vanda Orchids, I'm just going to add in, can you see there, just a couple of pink roses. Well, you know us here at Case Flower School, we absolutely adore pink. So how's everybody finding the new website? We did have a couple of teething problems at the beginning, but I think they're all nearly sorted at this stage. But again, people are still finding typing errors and grammar errors, you know that way. So if you are still finding any mistakes on the website, give us a shout, let us know. We definitely won't be offended. We'd be absolutely thrilled, you know that way. Because again, it saves us kind of looking for them. Because we've looked at it that many times, I think we're kind of like nearly, not bored, but we're sick of looking at it. So there's just 5 little pink orchids going in and out through, 5 pink roses going in and out through our 6 little Vanda Orchids. Another thing I have here is a couple of the purple Lysianthus. So again, here and there, I'm just going to add in a couple of short little Lysianthus heads. And any little buds, I'm going to use the buds as well. And just around the back here, even where the back of the pumpkin is, I'm just going to add a few little short heads kind of tucked in there as well. So no particular pattern, I'm keeping this simple. And instead, if you haven't got any Lysianthus heads, add in some baby carnation heads. The baby carnation heads will be perfect, and baby carnations again are a great long-lasting flower. So any flower within reason will work with this arrangement, you know that way. And again, if you wanted to keep it all small flowers, if you hadn't got the Vandas, or you hadn't got the lilies, or you hadn't got the Germanes, you know, the other flowers I suggested, there's nothing wrong at all in just keeping it to all small flowers. That would work out too. So there we've just added in a few more little Lysianthus heads. Can you see in and out through that? And now to pick up the pink, and just to give me another shaped flower, I'm going to use the Veronica. So this is the Veronica in pink. So again, I'm going to cut that short. Sorry that I have to keep turning this around to me, but it's just because it's kind of like more of a one-sided arrangement. I kind of have to be looking at this side all the time as I place in the flowers. So I'm just going to add in the Veronica, and I'm going to allow it to stick out past the other flowers. And again, just gives a nice texture. And when you're making flower arrangements, keep that in mind. You need lots of textures, lots of shapes, lots of shades, you know that way. And that's really, I think, kind of like, that's the brief. And I think I'm kind of like meeting the brief in this arrangement. Again, any questions, put it in the comments below. Now remember, anybody that's late joining us or that's sitting there with a cup of tea, the idea of today's class, okay, is to raise funds.
That was actually a question.
Okay.
Where can they donate,
Okay,
Jeanette?
so we're raising funds for Look Good, Feel Better. So how you can donate is, I put the link just above. I have a few purple Veronicas here as well. Just in the link just above me here, but also Sinead is putting it in the comments, and I know Celine is on there as well, and she's putting it in the comments. So if you click that link, that will bring you to the Look Good, Feel Better donation page, which is kind of a Just Giving page. And it's our page. Obviously the money goes to Look Good, Feel Better. What I'm trying to say here is, don't use any other link, just that link. And when you donate, automatically you will get your email reply back thanking you for your donation, but also with the details how to get a free course. So what we're offering to everybody, all our followers, one for everyone in the audience, as I said, Anybody who makes a donation to Look Good Feel Better today using the link above, in your reply back from Look Good Feel Better will be the details how to download an autumnal flower arranging course. It'll cost you absolutely nothing. It's worth €300. There's one for everyone in the audience. It's not a competition. It's not a raffle. Everybody gets it. So you can donate as much as you want. We would like if your donations were from around €20 upwards, you know, that way, because as I said, you are going to get exceptionally good value where you're getting a course completely free.
I'm sorry, somebody just says that they donated the other day and that they didn't get the email response. Check your spam.
Yeah, check your spam box. And because you definitely would have got the automatic response back from them. But if there's a problem, drop us an email, info@K's, have to remember the new email address, info@kaysflowerschool.com, and because we're able to go into the Just Giving and we can actually find your donation, so that's not a problem. We'll sort it out for you. Yeah. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that class. Huge thanks for joining in. Huge thanks for all the support and the comments. I can hear the phone there pinging in the background, because when you make a donation, our phone goes bing, bing, and this is how we know that the monies are coming in. So again, huge thanks. As I said, last year we raised €7,000. Hard to know whether we'll meet it this year, but listen, every penny counts, as Tesco says, every penny counts. So start donating, share this video, let all your friends know about it, and join in again in another few days for another free live class.